Alright girls, so this is the last video, and as I said previously, what we have actually done, and I'll just come out here, what we've actually done is at this stage, if I go into my folder, now as I said to you previously, my one here for this video, purpose of this video, I call it Steamroller video. If I double click into that, all my parts are saved in here. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts all together. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start building that. Okay, so what I'll do is, this is something new to us now. Where we have gone previously file and new, we're used to creating a part. Now think of it like Lego. We've created all the parts. Now we want to assemble them. Okay, so this time we're going to click on assembly and click OK. Okay, now at the moment this window will pop up for you to automatically put in something. I'm just going to get you to click on X there. Now what's going to happen here, I'm going to click on that as well, the X there. This is kind of very similar to your design kind of layout when we were modeling something. But what you'll actually notice up here is we've kind of got a new couple of tabs here. Look, we still have a sketch tab. Not really going to use that one much in here, to be honest, okay? The only ones we're going to use in here really will be maybe SolidWorks add-ins, render tools, and the assembly tool, okay? Layout, no, not really, okay? So the assembly one is the main one that we're in here for. Okay. So inside in this space, we want to actually bring in the parts that we made. So in the assembly section, you can see a little icon here, insert components. If you click the down arrow, I want to insert a component. So select that. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to bring you to obviously components, okay, or you might have to navigate to them. So if I select my desktop, 5th-year SolidWorks, now my one that I created here is Steamroller Video, double click. The first component I want you to actually bring in is the one here called Steamroller Body. So click on that. There we go. Click open. You can see here it'll come in. I can zoom in, zoom out, absolutely fine. But it won't actually click into place until I'm happy with where obviously I want it on the screen. I want it right in the middle. Click. There you go. And there it is. That's the Steamroller Body. Now, the next thing we want to actually bring in, I'm going to show you here, is the front upright support, which is the bit that's going to go in this little section in here. Okay, then we're going to bring in all these cab supports, but I'm going to bring in this one first. So I need to insert another component. So click insert component, insert component. The one I want is the front upright. So click on that and click open. Now don't click again. After you click open, don't click again. So you can see here it's after coming in. But what you'll actually notice, and this is what I don't like about how they designed it, I just followed the instructions. What you'll actually notice is it's probably actually not the right way around. It's flipped wrong. So what we need to do is we need to change its orientation. So you'll see here, down here, make sure you haven't clicked. I can change its orientation with the X, Y, Z. So I think the one I need is X. You can see it's after flipping up the right way. It's meant to go in there, but it's still the wrong way. And now I'm going to click on the Y. And there we go. Now it's going to slot in that little section in there. So now that I'm happy with its orientation, click anywhere on the screen and it will stay there. Okay, so what we need to do now is we have our first part. Okay, down there, that's just a shadow. We have our first part. I want this, the face here, to be pressed up against this face here. I also want this face to be pressed against that face, and likewise this face against this face. But there's easy ways to do this, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to use this here. It's called mating. So if I select mate, basically what we can do is we can attach surfaces on there. You can see even in the video they're showing you there in the little kind of tool. So watch this. If I select mate, now you've got different types of mates here. Okay, generally you don't have to select these. Okay, you've got coincident and parallel, perpendicular, tangent, concentric, lock, etc. Okay, you've got different types of mates as well. Advanced, we won't get into too much in advanced, but you will need it actually in this video for a couple of things, but it doesn't come in too often. But what we want to do here is we want to mate this guy here with this. So what I actually usually do is I mate the edges. You can mate the face, but I usually do the edges. Watch this. If I select this edge here, note how it's after coming in edge of front upright. Now I want that to be perfectly in line with this edge. So select this edge. What's after happening, when I'm happy with that, accept the green arrow on the screen here. Finish mate. What's after happening is that's after going in line with this. Watch. I can pull it away. See the way it's twisting around, but look, see how it's kind of fixed. it has to stay in line with that. See the way when I pull it through it? Okay, but that means I'm on the way. I'm not finished, but I'm on the way. I'm on the right path. Now, my mating tool is still open. Okay, don't accept the green mate here until you're fully done with this part. Now I want to mate this edge with this edge. There we go. Okay, green arrow. What I would always do at this point, you can see here now, if I click on it and hold and I try and pull it, you can see here now at this point, it can't be pulled. Because of those two mates that I've selected, okay, it can't be constricted because they're kind of perpendicular to each other, so it's going to fix in place. Now, if I started doing face and face and then another face, I could end up taking 3 or 4. You get where you want, but you can do it in a quicker couple of steps. So that's the first part of the object done. So I'm happy with that. Click on the green arrow. Notice down here in your design tree, we've got the steamroller body, we've got the front upright, and any mates that I've done. Watch, if I click on this one, it'll tell you what it is. See the way it's going orange on the screen there. And if I click on this one, it's going there as well. So it tells you. If you ever make a mistake with a mate, you can right click on it and delete. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to bring in all these bits that are going to slot in there. I think they're called the cab supports, holes for dowel. So insert component. Watch this. The bit that I want is the cab support. Click on that, click open. There it is. How many do I need? 4. I didn't have to create 4 because once I've made one, I can bring it in 4 times. Click. Insert component, cab support, open, click. Insert component, cab support, click. Insert component, cab support, click. There is faster ways to bring in multiple ones, but I just want you to get into the habit of it. And look, once I have them there, I can pull them around. Now, this one, important. I could do it in a couple of mates, or I could do it in just one. So watch this. I'll show you how to do it in one. Select mate. So my mate window is open. I'm going to put this one here into this hole. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate around and look into the hole. I want not the face, but I want the circumference. It's probably the best one. Click on the circumference. Notice how it's all highlighted blue, and I want it to be mapped with the circumference here. Okay, and what this will actually end up being is a coincidence and a concentric mate, I think it is. Yeah, it's a coincident mate actually. Right? See how it's after popping in there? Accept it with the green arrow. This cannot move anywhere now. Now I'll do it with this one. Click on circumference, rotate around until you can look in, click on circumference, gone in, accept. Do the exact same with this one. Circumference at the base with the circumference here. Now, I'm going to make a mistake on this one just to prove it to you, just to show you. On this one, let's say I selected the circumference here. And then I selected the inside circumference here. What you'll actually notice is, look, it's kind of come in from the bottom. So I'm not happy with that, okay? So that was not the one I wanted, all right? So let's say I left it like that and I made a mistake and I goes finish mate and I accepted it. Now you can see we've made a mistake here. It's at the wrong side. So if I went into my mates, went down to that initial one, could right click on that, delete, click yes. Now I can pull it back out. Now that I want to do a mate again, back into my mate, just make sure we obviously do it the right way around this time. There's the surface, zoom in so I can select, there we go, done. So there's that mate, I'm happy with that. All my cab supports are in. So click the green arrow. Now what we want to do is we want to put on the cab cover, okay? So I'm going to click insert component, I'm going to select the cab cover. You can do it obviously any way you want. There's the cab cover. Now notice how it's gone in like this. If you look at it here, now you kind of move it. It's probably not the way right round. So I have it in the wrong orientation. So I'll come down to I'll spin it. That looks more correct. Happy with that. So, zoom in and bring it down a bit. And there we go. So, happy with that. There it is. So what I want to do now is very similar. I'm going to mate it. So I'm just, on this one, I don't actually have to do all 4. Once I have 1 or 2 done, I should be okay. So I'm going to select this circumference with this circumference in here. It's gone into it. Now, it might look like it's done, but watch this. I should be able to. Oop. See the way I can pull it like that? It's stuck on one of them, but it's not stuck on all. Okay, so you can click and hold and you can pull it around. So the next one I want to do is, I'll leave it like that there, go back into my mate. going to select, this is where I can get a bit funny, I probably actually should, sorry. So what I'll do is I'll pull it off it a little bit, there we go. So I need to be able to select this surface and the inside bit here. So mate, select this guy, there we go. And you'll notice how the other ones have, because our measurements are correct, the other ones have slotted in perfectly as well. Okay, so there's the cab cover on, accept that. Now the next bit we're going to do is we're going to put in the front axle and then the rear axle. So insert component. So the front axle, going to grab that. Once again, look, the orientation is wrong. Twist it around. Y, click. Okay, now this one is a bit funny. We're going to do an advanced mate here. So first thing we're going to do is just a normal mate before we do an advanced mate. Now a mate, I'm going to mate the circumference. So just select the outside, not obviously the kind of edge here. Just this guy. Select the whole body of it. And then I'll select, notice, see how I can select the inside part? Select that. And look, accept that. What you'll actually notice is it's gone in, but I can move it. Now obviously, if this is a children's toy, we want that to be centered. Okay, you might think it looks centered there, but to get it exactly, look, I'll pull it like this so we have it off center. Now what we're going to do is, over here we've done the first mate, we're going to click into advanced. So if I select advanced, okay, now what it's going to ask me to do is, I'm going to have to select, I'm pretty sure it's wild zone, so click this face. Oh yeah, sorry, I made a mistake there, so I'm going to get rid of that. Sorry. So in the advanced mates, I need to select width. There we go. Make sure you select width. Okay. Now in width selections, I select this face, then this face. Now in tab selections, I select the face of the upright here and here. And watch, when I select this face, watch how this pulls into the center. There we go. Happy with that? Green arrow. Now, no matter how many changes, let's say I had to make this piece longer and I made a mistake. If I actually went back and I edited that part, okay, sorry, we're done with our mates now. If I went back and edited that part, let's say I had to make it longer, it would still, when I came back into my assembly, it would stay the same. It would stay right in the middle. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now what we want to do is we want to add in the back axle. Same method. Insert component. Is it rear axle, back axle? There we go. Look, orientation is wrong. Click on the Y, pull it in. Okay, so mate, first of all, select this with the inside. There we go. Happy. Now, you can see here it's not fully true, so I'll pull it kind of to about there. Now we're going to do advanced. So width again, I need to select this face and this face. These are my width selections. They've gone in there. Now in the tab selections, I select this face and this face. And you can see here, perfectly centered. Accept. You can see here we're nearly there. The last bit we have to do now is add in the wheels, and I think this guy here, oh yeah, the exhaust pipe. So for the wheels, insert component. I'm going to bring in the front wheels first to get two of them in. Now look, once again, orientate the wrong way. Spin them around. That one will go there. Insert another component, front wheel again. Open. Now once again, this one's orientated the wrong way, so I have to spin it around a couple of times to get the hole on the right side. There we go. So they'll all go there. Now, once again, mate. What I want to do is I want to mate the edge there with the inside. You have to look into the wheel to nearly select it. There we go. Happy with that. Green arrow. Now I want this edge. Are we going? With this edge. Green arrow. There we go. And you can see it's perfect little gap based on the dimensions that were inside it. Okay. So there's the green arrow. Accept. Now I want the back wheels. So insert component. Back wheel. I need two of them. This one just orientate it the right way. And I'll get another one. I'll put it the other side. Back wheel. And orientate it the right way. Okay, perfect. Don't worry if it goes somewhere mad. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. If it goes somewhere mad on your screen. Now, this one I want it to be flush. So watch this. It's very important. If I select this edge and this edge, see the way they're mapped onto each other? Perfect. Happy with that. Little gap in there as well. We're happy. Exact same on the opposite side. This face this edge. There we go. You can see here it's starting to build. Now, last little bit I want is the exhaust pipe. Now this is a bit tricky. I actually had to refresh myself on this one. So insert component. I don't like how it was done because there's an easier way, but I'm going to follow the video on this, or sorry, the instructions. So there's exhaust pipe. Now notice how the exhaust pipe comes in this way. Now it's very easy for me, if you actually look, it comes in kind of sideways. That looks wrong. It probably should be going backwards. But it's very easy for me just to twist it that way. And that's the way I would advise you to do it. But the reason I'm going to get you to do something here now is because we're going to mate with planes. So I'm actually going to leave it this way. Now, as I said to you, easiest thing to do, no one would notice any different if you just mated it that way. But we're going to have to probably stick it with a reference, so I'll show you here now. I'm going to leave it that way. So, accept. Now, first thing we'll do is, oh, Jesus, it's gone into the, so insert component. Oh, not insert component, sorry, mate, apologies. Select the bottom circumference and then the inside circumference in there. There we go. Now it's gone in. But obviously, does that look correct at the moment? Not really, okay? So what we have to do is we have to mate it with a plane, okay? This is a bit funny now. So if I go mate, in my design tree, am I going to advanced mates here? No, I think it's just standard. In my design tree, what I want to do is if I select, yeah, that's it here. So I'll go back out to explain that. So mate. Now, in the mate selections, but what you notice is this area has popped open here as well. This is your design tree when this area is full. So your design tree kind of pops out here. Now, do you see here an exhaust pipe? What we're going to do is, if we select exhaust pipe, I'm going to select, I think it's right plane on the exhaust pipe. And I want that to be mated with the front plane up here. So select right plane, notice how it's gone in for the right plane of the exhaust pipe. And I want it to mate with the front plane up here. And watch how it should twist around. There we go. Basically what's after happening there is, because the right plane with the exhaust pipe is facing, look in here, it's going in that direction. And the front plane is also going in that direction. They've come in as a parallel mate. Okay, if I selected the right plane, then it would come in as a perpendicular mate, most likely. If I get rid of the front plane, I'll just check. Now if I select right plane, yeah, it's after twisting around there, but we didn't want that, okay? So I'm going to delete all that, so mate, select this guy, so exhaust pipe, make sure you select the arrow beside the exhaust pipe. I want the right plane, and then up here to the normal standard planes, front plane, it's twisted around correctly, green arrow, accept. There you go, Bob's your uncle. That is the actual steamroller built. Okay guys, obviously you can play around with it, obviously the feature or the kind of appearances and stuff like that. But that there is your first kind of big project done, okay? Now, in the next video that's going to follow, okay, in a lesson or two, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it into a drawing sheet. We're going to, and I'm going to show you how to do like sectional views, detailed views, things like that. That will make it look kind of really pretty and it'll be really helpful then to you. It'll be the first type of drawing you do, which is a component then in your DCG project next year, okay? But what I would do then is, look, last bit, file, save as. Notice how all our parts are gone now. But what we'd actually do is we'd save the name, file name as assembly of steamroller, or you could just call it steamroller assembly, whatever works for you. Okay, we'll usually give it a nice neat name, assembly of steamroller. But what you'll actually notice is in the save as type, usually we have this thing here, it says SolidWorks part, but now notice it's a SolidWorks assembly. So the file type is now an assembly file where multiple parts have come in. So if I click save, that's an assembly. Now, if I click the X here, minimize my screen, if I go into my folder, steamroller video, you'll actually see here, all of these, look, SolidWorks part document. At the very top, we had SolidWorks assembly. Now watch this. Let's say I open up my assembly. Let's say I wanted to make this cab cover, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to change the wheel cover here at the back. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make this back wheel. That's the one I'll do. Actually, do you know what? I'll do the supports. So let's say I wanted the supports to be a different color. Let's say I wanted it to be brass as well, like this. So if I click on this, a window will open up here. I can actually open up that part from here. See the part? Open part, cab support. So if you click on any part here and click open, you can open it. Watch, click, open. It's actually going to open the part for me there. I didn't have to do it from the folder. Now let's say I change the material on this. Right click, and I want to change the material, and I'm going to go with a metal again. So instead of wood, we're going to go with a, I think it was brass, and we'll say brush brass again. Accept that, green arrow, accept. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save As, and what it says here, look, this file is being referenced by other open documents. My other open document is the assembly. So choose the desired. I'm just going to say Save As, Save over cab support. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Essentially, I'm not replacing it. All I'm doing is I'm saving the change. I'm saving that the material that I changed. So click yes. I'll exit here now. But watch this. When I exit here and it brings me back into my assembly, this is also changed. Okay. You could do it. Okay. If you want to do that, guys, practice away and maybe change the wheels if you want. Open the part here, click on it, open, change it, and then save it, and then it should change when you go back into your assembly. Once again, look, if I X this now, it's going to prompt me to save it because there's a change in my assembly. Oh no, sorry, because I saved the part, the assembly should be saved as well. I hope. If I go back into my assembly. Yeah, sorry, there you go. It's prompting me. That's what I was expecting to happen. It should have happened beforehand. It's saying rebuild, so I'll rebuild it, and look, the part is done. But I forgot then I should have File, Save As, Assembly of Steamroller. Yep. Now, the next time I open it up, there it is, brass. Okay, so that's the video done there, guys. Hope you found those helpful. That's a kind of a nice little one to introduce us to the topic, okay? So after that, then we'll move on to something a little bit more complex. All right, so well done.